Right then, I don't know if you're going to get any sound. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. Is it a bit loud? No, you can't. Never mind. Well, you could see the. I'll turn that off then. So it's pointless to have that on then. So yes, welcome along. We are now live. I am also live on all sorts of other platforms as well, including Twitch, Periscope as well. We've got Facebook up and running. That is going to the Facebook page, or my Facebook page at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ask if you are following and you are sort of like seeing this. I'm going to make the post public, and I'm going to basically ask if you can share it with your friends, especially the ones which are heading to New York Comic Con, because I think this is going to be right up your street. So please do. Oh, it's all public already. Excellent. So please do spread the word. Because we are going to be talking New York Comic Con, a couple of exclusives, news, some other bits and pieces, and of course our interview with KRISTINA Rogers, who is the event director of New York Comic Con. That's all on the way. We've got Michael P, who's jumped in on the YouTube channel. Good morning from Colorado Springs. I'm watching on YouTube. Yeah, if you actually do, let us know. Well, I mean, we could tell where you're watching from. We've got TISE66, who's watching on Periscope. Welcome along to you. We are about a minute 40 away. Don't forget, of course, if you do want to support the Hangout, not only spread the word, let everyone know that we're live on a Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. Now, admittedly, it is anchored to the GMT time, which means it's 6 o'clock GMT is when we start. I know the US clocks do that funny dance in about a week's time, week or two's time. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it is always going to be 6 o'clock UK time. So it's how the whole thing switches around when it comes to US and international clocks. Keep an eye on it. We'll make you aware when we actually put the notification up and about. So there you go. That's the way it works. Of course, spread the word. Let everyone know that we're live. And of course, if you want to jump on the Patreon page as well, patreon.com/EnglishmanSDCC. Lots of free content on there and lots of stuff we've recorded at previous conventions. We're also going to be putting up loads of things from the conventions we're doing coming up, including Leeds International Comic Art Festival, New York Comic Con, Thought Bubble as well in Leeds, and hopefully we're going to get some stuff from MCM London as well. Lots and lots of stuff. Chuck Cook is asking, what's the preferred stream now? Whichever you're comfortable with, really. It's entirely up to you. It's your stream. It's entirely your choice. Whatever you want to kind of watch on, jump in. This is where I'm just making sure I'm not all tangled up. Right, okay. There we go. But yeah, jump in with any comments from any stream you're watching on, and we'll do what we can to address anything that you want to address this week. Okay, not that. Here we go. I want to press that button. No, we're not doing karaoke requests. No, we're doing this. Hello there, everybody. My name's Leonard Sultana, and this is Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. I was supposed to have a ring light, which was going to light this slightly better. I was supposed to have a green screen. Thank you very much indeed to Amazon for suggesting a company which then decided not to deliver any of those things this week. And I got my refund at 10 o'clock last night. Thank you so much indeed for all your help on that one, Amazon. It really did make me feel so much better about myself. But there we go. That's the way it works. Like I say, loads of people jumping in on the chat already. We've got Into the Blue Mister, who's very excited that there's a countdown. That's rather cool. Aaron Neighbors is watching. Hola from sunny San Diego. I've missed everyone. I'm back, baby. Yes, indeed. It's a pleasure to have you joining us for the Hangout, of course. Sarita P is saying hi. Welcome along. Howdy all. We've got Michael P, who's, I think Michael and Sarita are very excited about New York Comic Con. So they're very much up for today. And Super Cat Chick is watching. Hello there, everybody. Good afternoon from rainy Kansas City. Fantastic stuff. So lots of platforms we're sharing on. So please do spread the word that we're on Twitch, Periscope, which is Twitter. We're also on YouTube and also on Facebook as well. But we would like you to go to those platforms and share the links with the preferred groups of New York Comic Con, because we want to try and get as many questions answered today as we talk to KRISTINA Rogers. who is my guest for today, and it's a pleasure to have her joining us. Let me just unmute her mic because we wanted it nice and. Oh, there we go.
There
You've muted yourself.
I did.
There you go. You've sorted yourself out. You
As
see,
I tend to. Hello.
There you go. All sorted. Hello there. Well, first of all, thank you very much indeed for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. I can imagine the atmosphere in the office is getting very manic at the moment. We're talking 10 days away,
10 days away.
something like 10 days away.
Next week is our last full week in office. I hit Javits Center next Monday after, and then my team follows that Tuesday and Wednesday. So final days.
Okay. How long does it take to kind of set up Javits for the team? Is it a couple of days, or is it something you can hit pretty hard?
The build starts on Monday with our build company coming in and getting everything ready for exhibitors. And then the exhibitors come in Tuesday. Most of them come in Tuesday, Wednesday. And then the last stragglers from usually Artist Alley Thursday morning.
Excellent. Just a couple of comments already coming in. Lots. We've got Chuck Cook who's asking about the multiple stream platforms, asking about a grand unified chat. Yes, there is. We can see that. In fact, we also allow to, guests can see comments. So Christina should be able to see the comments as well. So if there's anything you spot, Christina, do let us know. Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I am on my phone.
Right, so you may see the comments. I'm not entirely sure how it works but if there's anything you spot, do let us know. Chuck, we should be able to get any comments and questions in. I think I want to really start. We'll start with yourself, really, and your kind of adventure with REEDPOP and with New York Comic Con, and how you became the event director, and what was your personal journey? Yeah, what got you into Comic Cons and geek culture?
I used to go to a comic book store in Seattle where I used to live, and the owner had recruited me to work for this show. Some of you might have heard of Emerald City Comic Con. People celebrating too. And I also really like organizing things. So I just kept volunteering for them, and then it turned into a full-time job, and now I'm here.
Excellent. Right. So, well, how about your time with New York Comic Con then? How many times have you been the event director for the show?
This is my first year. So I was the event manager. I've been in the event manager for the last 4 shows. This is my first time around as event director.
And what's the changes of challenge been for yourself?
Mike Armstrong and I have worked really closely together. So now it's taking on more of the stuff that he used to do. So I like to joke and say relax, but we know, of course, Mike has found 18 other things to do. So it's mostly that. And then really it's getting things out of the way of the team, making things easier for them because they're the ones day to day, putting everything through, making everything happen, updating the website, getting everything together. So it's working with them, and whatever's in their way, let's fix it so that they can do what they need to do.
Excellent. Okay. Let's talk about 2019 then. Lots of stuff that's been built up for this particular show. And also, I think we can also talk about other conventions as well and what they haven't been able to bring to their particular shows because of either timing, schedules, or the way that things have just kind of fallen. Certainly at San Diego Comic-Con, there were a number of noticeable absentees this year. They are coming to New York Comic-Con with a bit of a bang. How's it been to kind of organize those companies and those IPs and to encourage them to really finish off their end of summer, beginning autumn season with a bit of a bang?
End of the year. Are we almost to the end of the year, Leonard?
Please, we're almost there. We're in the back stretch.
So close. A lot of it comes down to timing and relationships. So we work with studios and publishers all year round on New York and then across our other shows. But it's really down to the timing of what's going to be best for them. We got very lucky this year. The team worked really hard to make sure that we could open all the doors possible for them. But we are pretty excited to have a really, really huge swath of not just TV, but studio content coming in this year.
Cool. What's been a highlight for yourself in terms of what's been added to the 2019 lineup?
This might sound really funny. It's Castlevania, one, because it's good, and if you haven't seen it, you should, from Netflix, but mostly because they're bringing Warren Ellis in, and I am really, really pumped because Warren really doesn't do shows, and he's one of my very favorite creators. So he's come in for the Netflix Castlevania panel.
Excellent. I think another thing that I'm really excited to see, because obviously this will be my first New York Comic Con, so I'm going in very green on this one. It's got to be said. I've been doing as much research as I possibly can over the course of the last week and a half, 2 weeks, when I finally agreed that I'd be going. Yeah. It's been very last minute, but I'm very excited about the Artist Alley. As a comics fan, as you can imagine. Yes. The Artist Alley this year, any changes that we can expect? Because in the last couple of years, we have had one or two issues in terms of heating and the location. What's been the challenge this year?
You know, just perfecting it. So we moved halls. Due to the construction, we had the North Pavilion removed from us, which we all still mourn because it was the best building to put Artist Alley in. Now all of the artists are in 1B, which is where they were last year. They really liked it. We've added some private restrooms for creators, which I am pretty sure they're going to be really pumped about because those restroom lines can get a little long. Word of warning for you. But I think that this is the best lineup we've ever had. Mike Negan has done, who's our global talent manager for artist creators, is excellent. And he has really pulled out all the stops this year.
Yeah, I met him at in London.
Yes.
In October last year, and yes, the man is a bumblebee. He's all over the place. He's very he's just buzzing all over the place. Yeah. It's great to have that energy which all the team bring to the REEDPOP shows, which is
20 places at once at all times. He's really phenomenal.
Well, I mean, I'm certain that most of the REEDPOP team have some form of cloning device. Yeah. That it's the only way I can imagine it actually all comes together.
We do have secret.
Well, yeah, I'm certain that you kind of borrowed it off Stan Lee, because I seem to remember a Comic-Con where he was at least 20 different places at once. Sarita P is joining in, and she's saying that she's very much excited about the Castlevania panel, and it is the reason why she wants to see it. It is Warren Ellis, so that's she's very excited about that. Michael P backing that up. Castlevania, surprisingly
good. It's really good.
Absolutely. But I kind of knew this comment was coming. Michael P, the Expanse panel on Saturday for me. It's all coming together very nicely. In terms of the programming, is there anything else that's still to go into place, or is there anything that's still kind of ready to get announced, or is it all pretty much locked as what you can see on the New York Comic Con app?
We are 99% locked, which we are as locked as we are going to get, knowing that we do have a couple of things up our sleeve for the next 2 weeks to announce still. But for the most part, we are pretty good to go. So, of course, 4 things are going to change tomorrow, now that I've said it.
No, yeah, well, it'll happen in the next 20 minutes while we're on air or something. There's something will happen.
Be like, could you not say it's fine?
I think also the big the thing that New York Comic Con has really grown into is the additional venues as well.
Yeah.
Such as Hammerstein, such as the Madison Square Garden. What's it been like to go into those venues? Because I can imagine, certainly for going into something like Madison Square Garden, that must have been something a little bit special. But also provides its own challenges, I can imagine.
Yes. I really love going into more venues because we can bring more to the fans. And that's the whole point of us going into as much as we can go. But I think that Madison Square Garden in particular, it's Madison Square Garden, right? So every year, Armstrong and I make a point to go see usually the Walking Dead panel. Not because we're interested in the panel, though I love Walking Dead, but because that's one of the best panels for fan reaction. And to see the hall filled and then to listen to the fans go nuts is really, really lovely. And just like a good reminder of, all right, this is This is why we've walked 20 miles today, pacing in front of the Javits, helping everybody get in. You know, like this is why we do what we do. We were also in Hudson Mercantile this year with Anime Fest at NYCC, which we're pretty excited about. The first floor is going to be open to all fans, and then the second floor is all separately ticketed premium events. So it's more intimate conversations with some of your favorite people from the anime realm.
Excellent. I think also something that I wanted to bring up is the way that the convention landscape seems to be in a, while the last couple of years have been very exciting and very dynamic, this year seems to be a little bit more, okay, it's been out in the mainstream, but now it's a little bit more for the fans. Does that kind of make a little, does that make sense?
It does. It does make sense. I think it's one of the things that REEDPOP, you know, we have all companies have a value prop or a manifesto, and the first thing in our manifesto is fans first. It's nice to see other conventions really focusing on the fans and do it well. I think that a rising tide lifts all boats. You know, conventions being very competitive with each other, I don't think really services anybody, because ultimately, like we're all here to do the same thing, and for the most part, we're all doing it in different cities and different times of the year. So there's not a lot of conflict. But I think that it's been cool this year to see more fan-focused things come into light, and to, you know, our team goes to a lot of other shows, and to have them take learnings and say, oh, you know what, fans were doing this really cool, interesting, weird thing. Let's adopt that. Let's see let's see how we could do it at one of our shows, which is nice.
Yeah. I think the reason why I brought that up, and the vibe that I'm sensing from various conventions, not just in North America, but the other shows that I've kind of sensed, which I've covered for the Convention Collective. I think the reason why I brought it up is because of the expansion into those other venues. And you're saying that you love the fact that you're able to bring the content into those other shows. Can you see New York Comic Con growing further, or is it somewhere where it's a nice, comfortable level at the moment for the size of show that it is?
It's such a big show. Right now, I'm comfortable where it is, knowing that in 2021 or 2022, the building's going to be done. And so a lot of what you're going to see the New York team do over the next couple of years is really shore up and build more and more and more for a lot of like smaller verticals. You're going to see more gaming from us. You're going to see more anime. You're going to see even more comics. Because when the building's ready, we suddenly have this massive playground to play with, and it's all going to be right in the Javits. So that's really where our attention's moving.
Excellent stuff. I'm excited, if anything, because, like I say, I've never been to New York. I've no idea what to expect. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get into Hammerstein. Hoping I'll be able to get into Madison Square Garden, considering that I am going on a press badge, and there's no advantages as such to getting the press badge apart from getting through the door. Don't worry, I totally understand that, but fingers crossed I'll be able to get in at least to 1 or 2 panels just to see and feel, like you say, that atmosphere that room generates. I'm really excited about that. For yourself, and I do like asking this question of my guests when they're all part of the organizing team, because I know you're going to be incredibly busy that particular weekend. Is there anything that you are kind of hoping to kind of get away from the sort of like the walkie-talkie just for half an hour? Is it Castlevania, or is there anything else that you have kind of got your eye on?
Yes. We affectionately joke about this. It's the curse of the convention organizer. You know, like you build this really, really beautiful, awesome thing, and then you don't really get to enjoy it too much. That said, definitely I'm going to pop into Castlevania probably for 10-15 minutes. But otherwise, it's Artist Alley. And Thursday afternoon, that is where you're most likely to find me, is Artist Alley, snagging some prints, snagging some cool stickers, seeing if I can possibly get on a commission list. But yeah, that's one of my favorite places in the building.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'm sure I was going to say, sure, at some point we'll bump into each other, but like we've said, it is such a huge show. You never know.
You'll see me outside in the morning. That's where we're going to see each other. Is
Well,
you're
I
going to
mean,
see me bringing everyone in.
well, one of two things will happen. And then just keep bumping into each other every 5 minutes for the entire weekend, or we'll just not see each other at all, and we'll just go whatever. We have a couple of comments that have coming in, so I do want to kind of get those into. And this is actually, I know she says I need to complain for a second, but I think it's going to be more of a constructive criticism from Super Cat Chick, because that's the way that she is. She's good. I need to complain for a second. The Legacy Lotto email said it would be open till the 27th and no need to rush. But I tried to enter on Friday and it was closed. She was very confused and sad. If you could just address that, please.
I hear you. So we're running 2 lottery sessions. So I'm going to make sure that the team firms up their copy because it should have been pretty clear. There's one lottery session that was just for Legacy fans. And then there's a second lottery session opening next week. That's for Legacy and everybody else. So I will make a note, fix the copy, but you do have another chance because we are reopening lotteries.
Okay, because Super Cat Chick has commented as well. I read it was open until the 20th for the Legacy, but can still participate after the 23rd. So that's where that confusion come in. Yeah, I mean, what's been the big comments that have come in so far from fans? Not only those that are going for the first time, but also people are returning to New York Comic Con. What's been the kind of the hot topics of conversation?
It's always lotteries, especially this time of year. We added MSG and Hammerstein, which I'm very excited about because I think that a lot of fans were frustrated and wanted to assure that like I have a seat. So now we can provide a seat, and we've been doing it at main stage for the past couple of years, and to a lot of very, very good feedback from our fans. But it just generates a lot of question, a lot of urgency. You know, everybody's trying to plan their weekend. And it's a lot of how-to questions, not just the lottery, but how do I best do this? Or how can I get in? Or I need ADA accessibility. What's the best thing for me to do? And we have teams that are addressing all of this, but there are quite a few of you. So it leads to a lot of work on the team side, just on the customer service alone.
I'm wondering if it's because there's a couple of UK cons that do this, that do weekly surgery sessions. It's something that I'm going to be doing at the end of these podcasts. I was going to announce that at the beginning. The end of the Hangouts, we're doing something the Sunday, the surgery, basically to ask and answer any questions that people have. I'm just wondering if there's something that New York Comic Con, well, maybe not for this year, might be a little bit late, but to actually have a live stream where people can have that dialogue. I know we're going to do our best with our audience, but obviously on the New York Comic Con Facebook page or something. On the
channel proper. No, it's a great idea. We have the next 2 weeks are packed with just how-to stuff. We have a video walkthrough for entry procedures that fans are going to see soon. We will be doing a couple of video chats. I don't know if the team wanted to do them streamed or not. That's up to them. But you will see Mike and I's faces again, along with my event manager, Erica Kasner. So we do that leading all the way through, and then Wednesday, I believe, we do one live right from the venue.
There you go then. So you're just going to start ramping it up. That's what we like to see. Fantastic. Okay. So I think we'll say thank you very much indeed for your company. I did wanted to make a chance for people to ask questions. I think everyone's pretty much, certainly the crew that are watching this, because to be fair, the audience that I have for this particular podcast, they kind of know that they know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing, but absolutely. But if anyone did want to put a question to New York Comic Con, I don't think you'd like your personal Twitter feed to just get a bit bombarded, but certainly where would be the best place for people to put those questions and any concerns or anything that they want to put to the team? Where's the best place for them to send them?
The best place is our customer service, which I, of course, am completely blanking on at my current moment. But the Twitter feed right now, the New York Twitter feed, does a really good job of retweeting and answering questions. And so if you guys head there, 9 times out of 10, a question that you've asked somebody else is already asked. So you can go see our feed there. They're pretty smart.
Excellent stuff. You're a good bunch, and that's why I'm really excited about going. We do have a couple of last questions.
Yeah, of
s07e02 is asking a question. So I know that there is a lottery for the Hammerstein and MSG. So if people line up early, do they let those who won the lottery in the panels first, or is it first come, first served?
I think I'm about to break news. So
Ooh.
we don't have separate lines because the front of MSG and Hammerstein are really, really difficult to actually execute two lines. And this is something that all lottery people have asked for a while. And this year, we're finally doing it at only MSG and Hammerstein, not at main stage. But we are doing reserved seating for anybody that's won lotteries. So when you get on site, you'll be directed to your seats.
So there you
Brand
go.
new. Yeah.
Brand new. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed for sharing that.
Of course.
I will still be the one. I will still be the one at the back of the room. So at the back of the queue. So fair enough. But no, it's exciting to see what the show is bringing, and also I'm really excited to find out the vibe, because I think that's the main reason why I'm going to New York Comic Con, because I can imagine that it's just such a different vibe to any other convention that I've been to, and that's what I want to experience and want to check out. How do you describe the vibe at New York Comic Con?
I have gone to a lot of shows, and I have 3 shows in my portfolio, but New York is like no other show. You know, it's busy and it's madness, but the sense of community there, and all shows have really great sense of community, but I think the New York show, I think because there's so many people and there's so much to do and to find, like, it's electric, it's exciting, but everybody standing in line with you is there to do the same things you are, and they're so friendly and they're so happy. And you know, people have met at New York that now email me a few years later asking if I can help out with a marriage proposal. You know, it's really, really lovely. And just bring water and bring nice shoes, or a change of nice shoes if you're cosplaying. That's my biggest recommendation, because it's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may be turning off the health analytics on my phone, because it really gets a bit strange with the metrics. The graph goes a little bit nuts. I can imagine, but really
yeah, it
looking
does. It
forward to it.
skews your health results for the whole.
Yeah. And just to follow up on the comment as well from Supercat Chick, very cool about the news that you just told us about the lines. I'm guessing a lot in the Fast Pass area.
You know, I'm actually not sure. The team at MSG is still talking it through, because again, it's hard to line. And then on Saturday, there's a boxing event, I think. There's something happening in the arena. Yeah. So it makes lines hard. But if you go on, when you get to MSG or Hammerstein, the staff and the crew there on site will direct you where to go. And if you guys don't have a faster line, that's okay, because your area is still very reserved. So no urgency, honest.
No worries. Excellent stuff. Listen, I'm excited about this show. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really grateful that you took the time to come and join us on the Hangout. And like I say, I hope that we'll be able to bump into each other. I'd like to try, and I am going to be hopefully doing a live stream from New York Comic Con on the Sunday, which would be 1 p.m. Eastern. So I think that's how the times work out. So yeah, that's that's the plan. That is the plan, that I'm going to be bringing a live stream from the show. So at some point, hopefully, I might be able to bump into you, and
let me know when you're on site.
Yeah, do a face to face, and we'll do that. That'd be rather cool. Excellent stuff. Kristina, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
One more time, if you could just let people know the best place to go to get all the latest news about New York Comic Con.
NewYorkComicCon.com is the best and the brightest. For small tidbit things, go to our Twitter feed, which is at NYComicCon.
And of course, there's the app as well, which
oh man, my marketing team's gonna love you. Very good. Yes, please download our mobile app. And
it's got a lot of
time.
We will edit that bit out. Yeah. This isn't live at all.
No, not at all. This is fine.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. And
Leonard,
enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Hey, you as well. Bye, guys.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Excellent stuff. So there you go, Kristina Rogers. Really excited to find out about New York Comic Con because, like I say, it's my first time going, and I think, like I've said to Kristina, it's about the vibe for myself, and I'm really curious to see how that's actually going to pan out and how it's all going to work out. So looking forward to it. Right, so that was our interview, but now it's time to move on to something else. We are going to be doing 3 sessions or 3 blocks to how the shows are going to be going ahead for this season. Number 1 is our interview. Number 2 is the news of the week, which we are going to get into. We've got ourselves some New York Comic Con stuff, which we're going to get into now. We're also going to get into something which is at the end of the show for 10 minutes, which we may do a little bit shorter for this particular show, because we're just getting our audience back, which is the Sunday Surgery, which is basically a way for any questions to be asked about conventions for newbies. I've said to Kristina that the audience we've got for this particular hangout is a knowledgeable crew, and yeah, you do know your stuff, but let's see if we can get 1 or 2 people who are not familiar with comic conventions and are wanting to go to their first ones, and let's see if we can get some questions answered for them. But let's go into the news then. So don't forget as well, this is where I was going to do my mid-show break as well, my little bit of advertising. Because, of course, the way that we do our Hangouts and the way we do the website is through your support. I throw as much money from what I earn into the site and into what we do, but we also really do appreciate and really do use to the best of our abilities the support that you give us on our Patreon page. You can head to patreon.com/EnglishmanSTCC. Directly after this stream, I am going to be going on an after show, which means for 10-15 minutes, I'm just going to be talking to camera on a private stream just for our patrons. And yeah, I'm going to be getting into a couple of topics, including announcements for Comic Cons and why Comic Cons do what they do, considering that we are about 6 weeks away from MCM London Comic Con, and we've got something like 11 guests announced for that show 6 weeks out. And I also want to get into the way that the convention landscape is going at the moment, considering that we've had 3 conventions here in the UK cancel over the course of this weekend. It's just been a little bit of a bloodbath. So I'm gonna basically rant into camera. And if you want to join me, go to the Patreon page, throw a couple of dollars into the pot, and every penny really does help what we're doing. Also this week as well, there's going to be a Double Clicks live from Leeds recording, which they were here in the UK doing as part of their the European tour. And I recorded the audio straight off the desk. It's something that I've been looking forward to sharing for some time. We've been trimming it up and tidying up the audio, but not only for yourself, but also for Double Clicks fans. It's an essential listen. They're a great band, and I'm really excited about sharing this particular recording. Their first performance in the UK. They came to Leeds. It was a very intimate audience, around 20-25, and we just had an absolute blast. So please throw in. That's going to be a Patreon exclusive for the next 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks as passed, we'll put that public for everyone else. That's Double Clicks live in Leeds. Looking forward to it. Right, let's dive into our news then for this week. And yeah, we've got a couple of things that have been and New York Comic Con stuff, because yeah, lots and lots of exclusives. But I think one of the big ones for the fans has definitely been that for Marvel. Marvel New York Comic Con exclusives are absolutely stunning this time round, with some great variant covers which are available. Which we can, thanks to our new setup, we can actually show you on screen. So let's get into it. We have got ourselves, let's have a quick look at what we've got here. This is a couple of variant covers which are available. Let me just check that I am still streaming. I think I should be okay. Right, so yeah, we've got ourselves a couple of very exciting covers, including this one, which you can see. This is a Black Panther one, which is Black Panther 16. drawn by artist Todd Nauk, and it's going to be available for Marvel Unlimited Plus members and Marvel MasterCard card holders. So that's an exclusive for them. But for everyone else, there's some other great items that are up for grabs, including we have ourselves this particular item, which is the Ghost Rider cover, which is very tasty indeed. Glow in the Dark is from Philip Tan. It's limited to 1,500 copies. We also have ourselves, which is the just wait me a second, just getting a bit kerfuffled there. This is exciting. This is actually a John Tyler Christopher cover, which has been available for some time, but for New York Comic Con, they are doing something a bit special with it. Excuse me. This is actually going to be the cover for the House of X issue 5, and it is going to be a glow-in-the-dark variant, limited to 2,500 copies, but you'll be able to pick that up at the Marvel booth. We have ourselves this, which is a stunning Storm cover, which is Strike Force. This is let me see if I'm getting this right. So Strike Force, which this is going to be a fluorescent cover, and it's limited to 2,000 copies. And then I think the most exciting one for me is this. It's a Mondo variant, which is just absolutely stunning. It's a variant of Marvel Comics 1001, and it's limited to 1,001 copies. So all very exciting indeed. And it's not just that as well. We have ourselves news that there's some exclusive pins, which are going to be released at the show. These are celebrating the 80th anniversary of Marvel. And there's also going to be some fleeces and hoodies and tees, which are available. To be fair, not all of these have been announced as yet. If you do go to marvel.com/NYCC 2019, they do have a number of the images, but they do have stuff like this, which is the Xavier School Legacy tee, which is available. That's very, very nice indeed. So there we go. Sarita P is letting me know that yes, the Storm cover does glow in the dark as well. So yeah, that's looking like a really nice cover to bring to fans. So that's very, very cool indeed. Yeah, Keo, Leanne is looking in on the show today. Hello, Leanne. And yes, let's everyone send healing energy to Leanne so she can make it to San Diego Comic Con. I know that she's been in contact with myself, and it's looking like that she's not. She has had so much on her plate, and we do wish her all the very, very best. But yeah, it's a shame that she may not be able to make it. Fingers crossed that situation changes and everything kind of gets a little bit better between now and then. But there we go. That's some really cool bits and pieces that have come from New York Comic Con. Do head to marvel.com/NYCC 2019 for all the updates. They are going to be adding some more stuff this week, especially when it comes to their legacy tops and tees. Okay, we have ourselves some news from Los Angeles Convention Center that's happening in October 11th, 13th. Did I get that right? Yes. So next month, the week after San Diego, the week after New York, of course, Los Angeles Comic Con, LA Comic Con, and they have got themselves some great guests that have been announced over the last couple of days. First things first, there is going to be a Quick Stop Groceries, a photo area where you can get your best Jay and Silent Bob cosplay up and running, and get yourself photographed in front of the Quick Stop Groceries. As it happens, you'll also possibly get a photo op with Jay and Silent Bob themselves. Yes, Jay Muse and Kevin Smith are going to be in attendance for LA Comic Con. That was announced this week. Exciting stuff for them. But so there's been also another guest that has kind of caught my eye out of the LA Comic Con lineup, which is John Milius. Now, he's exciting to me because I'm a big Conan the Barbarian fan. I'm a big fan of Apocalypse Now, which he did on to some degree. He's one of those filmmakers which is incredibly bombastic and has been certainly someone who has made his mark on cinema. And yeah, John Milius is going to be attending all 3 days of the LA Comic Con next weekend. And we also have news as well about a party that's going to be taking part. Ready Party 1. This is looking like a really exciting thing to be a part of. Tickets are on sale. If you head to the conventioncollective.com, and if you head to our posts regarding LA Comic Con, we do have the links and all the information regarding this party, which is going to be taking part on Saturday, on October the 12th. You don't actually need LA Comic Con badges either, but it's 8 p.m. through till 2, and it is effectively the official after party for LA Comic Con. So that's looking very exciting indeed. Right, so that's LA Comic Con over and done with. Like I say, if you want to follow what we're going to be doing with LA Comic Con, do head to the conventioncollective.com, because I believe Dan Berry's going to be in attendance, so he's going to be bringing us some interviews and some bits and pieces from that show. Very excited to see what he brings us from LA Comic Con in not that far away, in 2-3 weeks' time. So very, very cool indeed. Right, that's all well and good. And yes, everyone's very excited about those shows. This early stage, people are very excited to find out whether they can return to San Diego Comic-Con. And that's what we heard this week. We have ourselves a couple of things that have been announced. First things first, returning volunteer registration, the date for that has been announced. It's on a Monday, and if I have my date right, I believe, is that tomorrow? It's happening soon. I didn't receive the email myself, so I'm kind of going through secondhand information. So please do jump in on the comments if you can let me know when that was. Yeah, that's looking like an interesting date to have that. But yeah, if anything, it just means that everyone's just getting more and more excited about what we can expect from San Diego Comic-Con. Let's have a look. I knew I was right, but yeah, that's going to be opening up. I believe it's 10 a.m. in the morning for returning registration. You will find out more information if you go to the member ID page, of course, of your Comic-Con International login. Check out the page, or the tab for volunteering, and it'll give you all the details, especially if you are that volunteered at 2019 and want to return for 2020. So that's happening tomorrow. Right, let's have a look, because that wasn't the only San Diego Comic-Con news we got this week. Of course, we have ourselves some news from the Talkin blog, which dropped its information regarding returning registration. Admittedly, nothing in the way of actual dates, but it was all about the details, which, to be fair, is nothing spectacularly new. But it was interesting to actually get some news from San Diego Comic-Con regarding the fact that the things are moving on. When they announced returning registration last year, it was about a week later. Sorry, this is about a week later than they announced last year. And returning registration was in about 3 weeks' time. Let's see what happens. I think we're going to be looking the middle of October, if anything, the second weekend in October. So fingers crossed. When we get a date, we will, of course, be announcing it and talking you through what you can expect returning registration. But I am going to put my neck out and say that you're going to be looking at the 12th. I think you're going to be looking a little bit earlier than what people are expecting. But that's, I mean, jump in. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. What do you think? Press registration is open right now. That opened up on Monday, just gone. But do keep an eye on the official feed from San Diego Comic-Con, and also from the official feed from from us as well, because we will do our best to bring you all the updates as soon as we get them. But like I say, the information's Dan Berry, it's the 12th, it's LA Comic-Con, so yeah, it's going to be that day, isn't it? I don't know about that. I suspect they won't be looking at LA Comic-Con and thinking, let's mess with these dates, but hey, it's always been that kind of thing, hasn't it? So yeah, I suspect it's going to be the 12th. All the live announcement will be coming from the official feed, and also it'll get emailed to anyone who with a member ID. So hopefully, if you are up for returning for another bout of San Diego Comic-Con, do keep your eye on your emails, and yeah, that should be happening soon. So we have ourselves these the notes that has been sent to the Talkin blog, talking about who's eligible to participate in 2020, and all the bits and pieces regarding who you can buy for. Nothing really of any news, to be fair. Nothing that kind of jumps out and really kind of has changed from the last one. So if you are familiar with the badge buying procedure, it's all well and good. However, they do give you a date for the shipping of the badge. You do need to have your verified address on your member ID account by May the 13th of next year. Likewise, any updates for example, if you are moving or if you just need to have a correct address putting into the system, May the 13th, 2020 is the deadline for that particular thing. So if you want to make sure that that's in place. Right, so that's the news when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con. Like I say, we'll do our best to bring you all the updates when it comes to returning registration, and indeed any of the other badge sales as well. So yeah, keep your eyes open on certainly the official podcast, so the official Twitter feed, because all of that information will be coming straight from there. Right, so that is the news for the moment. If there's anything else, jump in on the chat box. Let us know. We'll try and wrap it up with anything else that you want to add to the news. Perhaps there's something that you've spotted out there in the world of Comic-Cons that you want to talk about. Jump in on the chat and let us know what you want to talk about just to wrap the show up. Right. The third and final bit, and this is going to be happening each week, is the Sunday surgery. Now, admittedly, that's going to be slightly awkward because we are still re-establishing ourselves away from our break. Where this is only episode 2 of the show, which means the people who are watching this show know what to expect. They know what to do at a convention, and they know how to get around and kind of get the most out of their shows. But what I am wanting to do is bring more and more people who are unfamiliar with Comic-Cons into the fold and welcome them with open arms, answering any questions we can. So each and every Sunday, for the final stretch of the show, we are going to be doing the Sunday surgery, which means at the moment, I don't know if there's any questions that anyone wants to ask. If there's anything that you want to put forward, I'll do a little bit of some spiel while you have a think. But any questions you want to put to the podcast, maybe there's somebody on the chat that can answer the question. I know there's been a little bit of banter backwards and forwards regarding adult beverages at New York Comic-Con. That I can understand. But if there's any questions about Comic-Cons that you want to put forward, do let us know. Any comments and any things that have developed off the back of the podcast, and anything that we can kind of get dealt with and allow people to get as much information as we can, that's what we're going to do with the Sunday surgery. I am going to start spreading the show further afield as well, so I'm going to be putting them on lots of Comic-Con groups. So if you are members of them, they expect to see my face on a number of groups, spreading the word, because we do want to try and get as many people as involved as possible. So, for example, we have ourselves a couple of questions, certainly this question regarding New York Comic-Con. This is from Into the Blue Mister. I'm curious about NYCC. Is Madison Square Gardens its equivalent of Hall H? From what I can gather from my research of the show, yes, pretty much. It's a slightly different setup in that Madison Square Garden, at the end of the day, is a venue which is built to entertain a large group of people. So its concessions and its bathroom areas are a little bit more available to you because it is a self-contained venue in itself. Whereas Hall H, it's part of the convention center, which is effectively cut off, and you have the one restroom per corner, and you have the concession stall outside serving whatever you feel that is. Yeah, when it comes to Madison Square Garden, yeah, that's its Hall H, and you could call Hammerstein its Ballroom 20. There are those equivalents, but yeah, excellent question indeed. Karen Session is also saying that MSG is also a significant distance from the convention center. It is, I believe it's about a 2-block walk. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. Sorry, I'm just keeping a close eye as well because my cat is deciding to join us, and I'm hoping that everything's nice and secure so he's not going to knock everything over. You just behave with yourself, you. So there we go. Let's have a look at this. Super Cat Chick is bringing up a couple of a point regarding that they have computers instead of people to check in. If that's regarding New York, no, you don't. New York Comic Con, I'm very curious to see how that actually will work. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be finding out for myself. But if anyone knows about that, please do let us know. Dan Berry is letting us know about Emerald City Comic Con, and they have made the official date for ticket sales for that show, which is going to be on October the 23rd. Which means we're talking a month's time, and you'll be able to get your badges, or your tickets certainly, for Emerald City Comic Con, which is going to be happening soon. So there we go. That has been the Sunday surgery. I want to try and add more. What I will do is I will put calls out for questions to be answered on the Sunday surgery throughout the course of the week. So you'll be seeing tweets about that as well on my Twitter feed, on Englishman SDCC, and also on Facebook as well. So yeah, we'll try and answer as many questions as we can each and every Sunday. And that, I think, is pretty much us. Sarita P is letting us know about that distance from the convention center for MSG. It's about a 15-20 minute walk. Wow, that's actually a bit further than I thought. So yeah, okay, I'm going to have to look into a map on this one and just check how that's going to work. I really wish I had my camera on here, because I've got a cat which is very much staring me down. I think it's because he's wanting feeding, but hello there, cat. Right, Tony Toledo is watching. Good morning from SD. And Karen Session, New York Comic Con, they have people holding tablets to check in. So there you go. That's your computers. But you never know. They may be Westworld. It may be life model decoys. So you just check the fingerprints, because you never know. They may be slightly awkward. But there we go. Okay, that was just me being facetious. Right, thank you very much indeed for your company today. I hope you've enjoyed it. We are back with another show next week. Like I say, I am going to be on the Patreon page directly after this hangout, where I'm going to rant and rave for about 5, 10, 15 minutes because I have things to get off my chest. You can join us on the Patreon page, patreon.com/EnglishmanSDCC. If you spot anything that we think we should be covering in the news of the week, jump in, let me know, head to that Twitter feed and message me, and I'll do what I can to get it all in place. And of course, we've got ourselves the Facebook and the Twitch pages as well. Any comments that you want to make on those, let me know. Anything that we can do to improve the show, but we'll do what we can to build and build. Hopefully the green screen will be in place by next week. Hopefully the lighting will be a bit better as well. Any comments, anything that you want us to do with the Hangout, let us know. Any guests that you want us to get on, drop us a line. And of course, we'll do what we can. We've got ourselves a fair number of people that are all lined up and ready to go over the course of the next 2-3 months. But we want to continue to have our ongoing guest list coming onto the show between now and San Diego Comic-Con 2020. Super Cat Chick, so happy the show is back. Into the Blue Mister, hail, great show as ever, Leonard. Hail Hydra. Listen, thank you so much indeed for joining us. I know it's been a long extended break, but we're back and we're here again. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. Do join us next week for another show. And I am now going to get myself ready for a little bit of a rant over on our Patreon page. Take care. We'll see you soon. And yeah, we are looking forward to next week. We should have a guest announced Monday, Tuesday, if that's confirmed. But once again, thanks to KRISTINA Rogers for coming on the show today. and talking to us about New York Comic Con and getting us all pumped up and excited about it. A little bit of news in there as well, which was good. So there we go. Keep your eyes open. Guest announced for next week on the way, and we'll be back next Sunday for another Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. From me to you, we'll see you later.